Welcome back to the sinister alleyways and side streets of 1980s Tokyo, where lamps quite literally swing in front of your face while you're trying to film a YouTube video like it was back then, back in the 1980s. But welcome back, guys. Welcome to the Abroad Japan studio. If you haven't yet seen the Grand Tour over on the main channel, do go and check it out, featuring Connor, Pete and Natsuki. Their reactions were priceless and it was a lot of fun. But today, in this video, I want to show you some of the hidden kind of spots around the set that we weren't able to show you in the video, places that I've been discovering over the past week or so. Because a lot of the best details, a lot of the coolest things, you can't really see on camera from this angle. So I'm going to take you down into the 1960s electronics store, down into the 1980s ramen shop, and show you around my favourite places. Now, I'm going to be making a lot more videos here on the Chris Abroad channel now that we've got the set, so be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss some of the cool videos we're going to be making here. And without further ado, let's dive in and see what we can find. So number one, let's start at the end of the set and work our way in. This whole wall here with these amazing pipes, this actually moves like this. I'm moving, I'm going. The best thing about this is you can kind of seal off each of the streets. So when in the first video, when we took off the blindfold off Natsuki and Pete, they couldn't actually see outside of the set because we blocked it off by turning this whole street. Like, it's really awesome to be able to change the set around and sort of make the streets feel different by just tilting it and turning it. A little bit heavy. If there's an earthquake, it'll probably collapse, and hopefully I won't be under it when it does. Number two, we have this shady, seedy phone booth, complete with a real working phone, or at least it would work if I'd plugged it in and paid the phone bill. In here as well, there's lots of shady artwork, some of which I probably have to cover up because I don't want to get this video demonetized. But I love this little spot here, and there's a tobacco sign up here. Pretty cool. Now, number three is just over here, and it's something a lot of you guys asked about, and that is, does this shutter door to the electronics shop, does it actually move? And the answer is, yes, it does. It goes up, and it doesn't stay up. So I've got a plank of wood underneath, not only for beating people to death when they break in, but also for propping up the door. So if I do want to keep it up, I could just put that there. And it's definitely safe, and the plank of wood won't fall down. So this is actually a new addition to the bar. I just bought it. This is a retro Pac-Man arcade game that I will now lose at. I wanted something where I could have friends come over, play it, and see who could win and get the most bestest score on Pac-Man. Let's play. This is actually Miss Pac-Man. And yeah, I'm dead now, so that's the end of the Pac-Man bit. Stupid Pac-Man. Now, number five, one of my favourite things about the set is, of course, the lighting. These beautiful, incredible neon lights. We have the Kanji for sake there, we have the Maneki Neko, the Lucky Cat, we have a game and drinks light from some sort of shop, and there's lots of little details. There's a snack bar light over there as well, and it says Doki Doki, literally heart racing. Absolutely stunning lights. And also, you might have seen over here, we have a moving light that says Like a Magic, little Easter egg there, but I can actually change the words there, just haven't worked out how to do it yet. And also more swinging lights, which have run out of battery already after 10 days. Now, you might be wondering what this image is behind, and this is actually from Blade Runner, the video game, I think. It's a clip of the kind of... Oh, I've broken. The fun is over, I've broken the set. But anyway, this backdrop here is being projected by this massive projector at the bottom. It's one that you can actually put really close to the wall and it sort of shines up. But because it's a laser projector, if you go in front of it and block it, it stops. And now it doesn't want to stop now. There you go. So you can't go in front of it, but it's a really cool projector, and without that I just feel the set wouldn't be complete. It'd just be a blank wall. One of the benefits of having a projector, of course, is you can change the backdrop to anything you want. And also, I plugged in the Nintendo Wii, which you can see down there, and played some Mario Party on it recently with some friends, which I of course won, and I was very smug about that because I never win Mario Party, so very happy about that. So we're here behind the ramen counter, and one of my favourite things here is how they, this is a brand new ramen shop, but just look at the sort of the weathered details of the ramen store. Like, it's all falling apart, it's all crumbling, just like a real ramen shop, Ramen shops are usually far from clean, they're very dirty places, and it's got a really awesome kind of lived-in feel here, which I absolutely love. And that's not just the ramen shop, that's the entire set, as we'll show you on the other side as well. But the ramen shop in particular, it feels like a real living, breathing ramen shop. And it's not just the weathered details as well. We do have some cool moving parts, like over here. You can see here we've got this nice, delicious, fresh bowl of ramen steaming away, when in fact it's actually just a humidifier. So this is a little humidifier. We've got two on the counter, one's further down. And that's just to give the effect that I'm actually cooking something, when in fact I'm not. Because if I do cook ramen, let's face it, it would be far from edible. Though when I do have some guests come up eventually, when I have friends, I do want to do some interviews, and while we are sitting here at the counter doing interviews, we can eat like a bowl of ramen, probably cup noodle, just in a bowl. But right here behind the ramen counter is something else that I really love as well. This shrine, I absolutely love this shrine because all the candles here, this is a fake candle, they all light up and give the illusion that it's a real working shrine. We've even got like these incense sticks here, which are also battery powered. I could get some real ones, plug those in, but let's not have fire hazards in a very expensive set. And also there's these fans up here, which you can just see, just out of shot, like a real ramen shop. Again, you can't even see these fans when you're filming, like at the bar. It's really hard to see them. They're just there to make it real. And that is what I love about this set. All of the best things, all the hidden details make it feel like a living, breathing world rather than just a sort of 2D film set. Even over here, we've got a menu. This is point number 10. We've got a menu here with real food on it that I can't cook. I think I'd love to be able to cook something on this menu, at least one of these signature dishes, so it doesn't feel like a fraud. I feel like Chris Fraud at the moment because I've got a ramen shop with nothing that I can cook and nothing that I can serve. So I need to try and master one of these items on the menu. Maybe just the standard Gohyaku 500 yen ramen, the cheapest one, simple ramen. It'll be cup noodle, won't it? Let's just face it, it's going to be cup noodle in a bowl. But I think of the two sides of the set, this is probably my favourite, just because of the neon lights. Whereas the other side is awesome and amazing, as we're about to see, but I just feel like, I don't know, this for me, this is 1980s, and I love the 1980s, whereas the other side is more of a sort of 60s, 50s, 60s vibe. So let's go and check it out, and let's go via my favourite route, the secret hidden alleyway. So just in between the electronics store and the ramen shop and this shutter, this one doesn't open unfortunately, there's a tiny hidden alleyway. You can't see it. When you're filming videos, this is like the one part of the set you can't see at all. And they didn't have to do this, but they did anyway. And they've still like stuck loads of stickers and things to it. But it's an awesome alleyway, even if it does give off major Jack the Ripper vibes. So for this next one, I'm having to literally get down on my hands and knees on the floor. And that is for the leaky tap, which it's not a real tap. Oh, it turns. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Didn't know that. But the tap is got like a leaking bit of water there. And this whole area is really cool. There's like a drain pipe here and lots of moss and plants and things to make it look like real plants are growing out of the ground. And again, this is one of the parts of the set you don't really see because it's always out of shot on the floor. But they didn't need to do it, but they did, and they're amazing for it. But not only that, the next point is the floor itself is textured. Check this out. If you look here, you can see it looks like there's been a sort of water leakage or some rain on the ground. So the ground looks kind of wet, even though it's not, thankfully. And it's textured like concrete as well. The only problem I have is the real floor starts here, and I'm thinking of getting some sort of grass or some sort of extra flooring to sort of transition the two bits between the studio and the set. But incredible attention to detail, absolutely love it. But one reason we did this was I wanted to create lots of reflections, because like when you think cyberpunk, you think rain, you think puddles and reflections and lights, and by having these sort of wet surfaces and reflections and glass in front of the electronics store, it creates all these reflections and again gives it that sort of 3D living, breathing world effect. So this is probably the most impressive neon light of the bunch, and it actually says Mega Denki, literally Mega Electronics Store, and it's on the side here of the electronics store, and these little light bulbs here, they alternate and you can change the current, so they go in different ways and different patterns. But as we saw in the main video, it's very hot because Natsuki burned his fingers. So be careful, don't touch it like Natsuki. Don't know why he touched it anyway. Don't touch a neon light, that should be a given. So one of the most dangerous aspects of the set, apart from the smouldering neon lights, is the sweet shop. The sweet shop's actually real. These are all real sweets, many from the sort of 1950s and 60s. And of course, one of the good things is, even though lots of people have been coming in and taking my precious sweets from my sweet store, in about 5 or 6 months they'll all be expired and then no one will want to eat them. Or if they do steal it and open it, they'll find nothing but a bag of mould, and the joke will be on them. Next up we have a moving real door. As to who's behind it, well, I'll have to show you another time. It's top secret. But the door moves, and that's a real window there. But you've got this terrifying silhouette. This is supposed to be, I think, the inside or the outside of the shop. I can't really work out if this is the front of the store or if we're inside the store looking out onto the street. Not worked that one out yet. What do you make of it? Because I haven't worked it out. And last but of course not least is the electronics store, complete with real working, kind of working, CR TV screens. These are real TVs. All of them, I'm still kind of working out how to switch them on some of them. We've got a Famicom here though, a Nintendo Famicom. And a few days ago, my good friend Pete, when he came up here, while we were doing the video, he got it set up and working on this TV here. And if you go back and watch that video, you can see there's a clip of Mario coming up on the TV. And then after he'd got it working, he accidentally knocked it, the cable came out, and we spent 2 hours trying to get it working, and it's never worked ever again. So, well done, Pete. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh. Damn, Pete. He gave us the Mario game, and they took it away from us. He snatched it away, bastard. But the shutter, because it goes up, I can actually get inside the store. So if I want to, I can film from inside there. The electronics store, it's really kind of the final piece of the puzzle because of the reflections it casts. And that reflection over there of the character is absolutely horrifying. Oh my god. And of course, finally here we have a pallet which you can sit down on. A bit like a kind of a black street in Shibuya or Shinjuku. Can't go wrong with a pallet. What does that say? Oh, Asahi Biru. 20 bottles of beer, apparently. This used to once hold. Now, it's a part of the Abroad in Japan set that I sit on. But that concludes our tour, guys. What I love about this is actually you can sort of shoot in so many different positions from this set. I'm still kind of determining like where I want to produce these videos from, which part of the set. What do you think's better, the ramen shop, the 1960s street? Let me know in the comments. But for now, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this tour. If you haven't seen the main one, do go and check it out on Abroad in Japan. As I said at the start of the video, be sure to subscribe because there's going to be a lot of videos here on this channel from this set. But for now, guys, I've got to go and clean my ramen shop because I don't want a rat infestation before I have any guests up here. While I've been sitting here filming this end scene, I've just noticed there's like a little poster from the year 2001 promoting something called Meat Pie Sounds and Arts. Does anybody know what that is? The stickers they got for this place, very cool. Don't know how the hell they got them. There's one there from 1998. Has that just been like sitting in a room for like 22, 23 years? Just waiting, just building up to this moment. God, I love this set. It's fucking amazing. Unbelievable.